was going through my activities, trying to find something that we could do. Ideally, I want to start this stuff, but what I want to do with the Crimson Fleet, and I'm pretty close to leveling up, which means I need another level. God, you need so many levels in this to do anything. But once I can get to a point where I can have 5 crew members, I can dismiss Andreja, and we're going to do the deep cover thing. I'm going to go in on my own. We're going to really, truly do it. Just TOD. We're going to fit right in. The choices that we make isn't hopefully going to affect anything else. So that's what I'm waiting for on these. So we're kind of jumping around. We're probably going to have to do further into the unknown. And maybe some of these little ones, just to level up. Depends how we go. The 15%, the constant 15% bonus is nice. And some of these are kind of crap. We could go to Vlad's house. I think that was a level 60 something, so we're probably right around there. Joyce, I don't remember Joyce, but I found this one. Distress call in the Shower Boy system? I guess. It's unexplored as well, and it's level 65. Okay, so it's about where we are. Right, cool. What we're going to do then, I'm going to sleep now, because we're going to have to do a couple of jumps to places we haven't been, which is XP, which is nice and bonus XP. I'm going to quickly sort some stuff out here, because I am almost at max capacity. That isn't how we do it. We do that. We press X. We go to me. We go resources. We press that button. Why am I so... I was looking at that thinking, well, I'm not using that, and then I realised how poor the stats were. Right, so let's stash that. Let's stash that. We may as well stash that. I'm enjoying this. I've modded this and I've modded our sniper rifle. So I'm enjoying that. That's mine, so that can be stashed. In fact, pretty much all of this can be stashed. 80, that looked quite good. We might play around with that. We keep that for emergencies, don't we? And I'm keeping that because I just like it. That can be stashed. I'm really liking this. Now I've modded it. It seems very nice. Which do we keep? I still think the shotgun's better. Even with that perk, I still think the shotgun's better. I've changed that from EM as well, because I hate EM stuff. We might keep it, I don't know. That's okay for weight. What else is weighing us down? We got some misc stuff? No. Go by weight. Ah, some of our weapons are quite heavy. That'll do. We've shaved 100 off. That'll keep us right. We'll do a quick hour's sleep.
Any good books lately?
No. Actually, I haven't read a book in about a year. Which is odd for me. I usually have a couple on the go.
Last night. Well, all that physical training seems to
Did I
have
just
paid
throw
off.
a cushion at her? Like, serves her right, obviously, but... I wonder what the towel was for. You can answer that in your own minds. Keep your filth out the comments section.
Fascinate me.
Barrett is creepy. Barrett is very creepy. Right, so we need to figure out where we're jumping to. Down here. Show on map. Oh, it's not that far. Is it there? And then there. Yeah, so this is Zosma. Which is apparently 2 jumps away. And we're there straight away. Wow, okay. You can get rid of all that crap. Fill up them, that'll do. In fact, we may as well throw that in there so it's ready. Let's have a quick scan. Iron lead, oxygen. It's not the worst. Nothing interesting here. So now, can I go over to Sharibo? I'm sure it's Sharibo.
Imagine how solemn it must have felt.
Repeating emergency request. Facility Crucible requires vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Charybdis 3. End of message.
Interesting. Let's set that as our active. I was expecting pirates or something. The Crucible. Okay. We're gonna go watch snooker. I do like me some snooker.
This is intriguing. A rather large amount of security for such a small place.
Been playing this for like 9 days game time at this point, and I've only landed on 100 planets. This is a busy world. Lots of animal. Not a huge amount of plant life. Vasco, keep an eye on the ship. I guess we're going to be in close range on this one. This looks kind of cool. Lots of wildlife around here. Spitting goatweed. Well, it's either an unfortunate name or it spits when you get near it. It doesn't spit when you get near it. This is an interesting complex. Obviously a colony. Tobias is a robot, so the automated message came from Tobias.
Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This
I'm
is
okay
an
with that.
undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart.
You're the one that sent the transmission, pal.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
What?
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived.
Guess I'm a hero. Charybdis is... Charybdis? I thought it was... I don't know. That's probably right, Charybdis. It's really out of the way. You must not see many people at all.
We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him.
Why are people hiding?
Crucible is a tinderbox, and any spark will set it off.
You're getting a Vault
Still
vibe.
recovering from a deadly conflict that happened 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Far
Vault
fewer
vibe.
of us are here to greet you today because of it.
What do you mean by societies?
Most of us are like me, free and unaligned. But there are 3 societies that are oft at odds with one another. The Believers, the Pragmatists, and the Renegades. It would be wise to meet each of them. Franklin leads the Pragmatists.
Interesting names. Then I guess I'll go and meet Franklin.
Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
This feels vaguely like one of those situations that ends with, and they were never heard from again.
I think she's right.
And your scan shows...
Spitting goatweed, of all things. Can you believe it? There's loads of it around here. That's Tobias, right? He wants... Oh, no, it's not. All Tobias wants is his copper. That's Ada. Haha, he's all buttoned up. It's quite a welcoming party. Franklin, thank you.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community. But you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends.
I'm so getting a Fallout vibe from this. You don't seek to use me?
You ask a question you already know the answer to. Yes, of course. I have need of you. But if you have a good heart and a quick mind, I am sure you will see my point of view.
I'll be careful then.
As well you should. I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt,
Yep.
leader of the Pragmatist Society.
Fallout vibes. Roosevelt. I know I've heard that name before.
Well, it is gratifying that even after all these years my name isn't entirely forgot. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones.
Oh god, it is
Some
Fallout.
of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
Loads
You
of
need
clones.
not imagine. I can assure you, this is all exceedingly strange. Baffling, even.
So, are you a real president of the old United States of America?
Now there is the question, isn't it? I do not have FDR's memories, but I know every nuance of his life and times. Well, as much as history records. I confess, I feel an undeniable affinity towards him. But no, I am my own man, but not all of us see it that way.
I want to know who you people are and what's going on.
I could see how confusing this may be, even frustrating. But if it's any consolation, many of us feel the same, and we live here.
Doesn't help.
After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters.
I'll hold you to that promise, Franklin.
Please do. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with Amanirenas and Genghis Khan.
Oh god. They love Genghis Khan in these games as well, don't they? Pretty sure. Was Genghis Khan in?
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us as people.
She looks like my wife.
Welcome to town, stranger.
Wyatt.
Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp. and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course.
Of course. I thought White Earp was a sheriff.
He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that.
Of course you are. So you're a pragmatist then?
I'm for whatever side wants to keep the peace. It means that the pragmatists and I are often on the same side of things, but you might be surprised the number of times I've had to ask some of them to back off some nonsense.
Let me know if I can help.
That's a generous offer. I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years.
Sounds good to
Happy
me.
sell them to you.
What have you got for sale?
At once.
I was thinking, like, weapons. I need a room.
I got a room for you. It's on the cozy side, but it's clean and quiet. You looking for a short-term rental or longer?
Let's see if I can survive the night.
Room's ready. Whenever you want to take a load off, feel free.
That's cool. Right, you...
You can hear the house.
My day is suddenly...
The defenses have to...
If there's anything you need, I am happy to share.
No, what we need to do is... Oh no, that's the Kepler T. We need you to take that off. Because it's getting confusing now.
Are you sure you must go?
I didn't go anywhere.
In my darkest hours, I feared that we were all that was left of humanity.
The hell is this place?
Your ship, she's a beauty.
Thank you, I built it
travels
myself.
the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there?
Starry. No matter how much I see, it never gets old.
That's just how I imagine it. My name's Amelia Earhart.
I thought you were
When I first
missing.
woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration, vectors, and everything.
That's pretty interesting.
In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit.
Why do you know about spaceflight?
The facility keeps us alive, fed and protected, but they do a terrible job of informing us of anything at all. My guess is the facility thought they might need a pilot one day, but your guess is as good as mine.
I really don't know what to make of you or anyone else around here.
Funny, some of us have had the same thought about you.
Yeah,
Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore.
if I can help you, I will.
You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Do you think you're the real Amelia Earhart?
No, I don't. I consider myself a most ardent admirer of hers. She feels like family. Distant family.
Very distant family.
I like to think we both share a kindred spirit of adventure, though. She broke so many barriers in her life. I would love the same opportunity one day.
You got any thoughts on the societies?
I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them. But I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, laters. So all of the unnamed
I would
settlers.
kill for a new slate, if anything at all.
If you had a life sentence, wouldn't you do anything to be free?
I listened to Amon Arenas for years before I joined the Believers.
I'm a believer.
I just wish the societies could get along.
Right, so the people in the settler outfits
Who cares what
are
sick
nothing.
experiment Crucible was designed for? We need to escape.
Oh, they're living up to their name. Renegade, one out. Have we got any loot? Nothing that I desperately want. Although... Genghis Khan's computer. The pragmatists, FDR may hide it, but he is as quick to draw a blade as I. His greatest weakness is this mask of civility, yet he has bested my previous lives at every turn. I don't know if FDR would survive Genghis. If they were in the same time zone. I'll be honest, I think Genghis would have him. As much as I despise it, it may be his greatest strength too. He tells people what they want to hear, that they eagerly soak it in. Flattery, two-faced lies. In every battle we've had traitors. He gets to people. The believers. I want to shake them, make them see. These are lies. Why do you trust the machines that kill us, the machines that hobble us? They are too far gone, and Amanirines is the worst of them. Amanirines, that's not a name I know. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. There's no convincing them. I will free them in spite of themselves, even if I have to kill every last one of them to make it so. Talk with Ada. It amuses me how nervous I make Miss Lovelace, Ada Lovelace, got you. But she intrigues me. The robots taught me little of the new science. So I piece it together with talks from her. Last night Ada told me of her theories about cloning, about this DNA. Now I wonder if I'm even a clone of Genghis. So they brought Genghis Khan back, and he just, because he didn't know any better, he thought he was Genghis. That's cool. I know from my education that the real Genghis is a mysterious figure. No one knows where he's buried, where he was born, or almost anything. So how did they capture his DNA? That's a good question. How did they capture his DNA? Or did they? One way or another I may share his name, but I am my own man. Which echoes FDR. Done with experiments, I found the clues I left for myself, the old Mongol trail signs invisible to the others. It is gratifying to know that I never fall in with the believers. I always rebel. It's like they're programmed. I have tried so many ways to escape, but I cannot find a way. There is no way. The facility must be destroyed. That is the only path forward, but how? Wyatt's surprise. Every week I visit Wyatt, and he shows me the marvels of modern drink. So many flavors, so many varieties. Why did the robots give us such ample provisions in this department? Wyatt surprised me with what he called cactus wine. We were howling at the moon. I will make a renegade of you yet, Wyatt. You deserve to be free. The ramblings of a madman. Where is old Genghis? But they have like modern gear. But they're clones. It's another thing that Bethesda likes. Bethesda likes clones.
The believers will win eventually.
The believers will win! I don't know about that. I mean, is she Greek? Or Egyptian? She's probably Egyptian, isn't she?
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush. Queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me.
What's the Kush?
In truly ancient times,
Egypt,
my land
okay.
lay south of Egypt, a harsh country. History is enamored of my contemporary Cleopatra, but she would have withered and died had she tried to rule my land.
Nice to meet you, Your Majesty.
Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas for true. The great and the terrible, to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it. So vividly. It aches my heart. My home. My kingdom.
This is actually rather interesting. How can you be so certain?
Have you no faith of your own? Something you hold to, even though it cannot be proven. It is the same with me. But I am certain. You speak to a Manirinas, reborn.
Maybe you are her reincarnation?
If your mind and heart remain open, you will see the truth of it. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems, to bring in a new glorious age, and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed.
What can you tell me about the mission?
So many scoff at the mission. Before we are reborn here, there are words all of us are told. That we are the chosen. We are meant to better ourselves. To learn, grow, and thrive. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. Who better to lead the settled systems to a new golden age?
You really think you can change everything?
You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Cush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that?
Did she just hint towards other famous historical leaders cloned somewhere, not awake yet? And you want me to help with this?
If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years, and no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright.
She's certainly a believer. I'll hit you out, but no promises.
Then listen well, outsider. You must go to the facility.
I think I will.
The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Interesting.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
I go where I want, robot, and I'm not afraid to shoot you down. What's the gravity on here? 1.16, so it is more than Earth. I guess we go speak to Genghis. These are all just clones, aren't they?
Your arrival doesn't mean more violence.
The mission is a lie, but we have a chance to build a real life here on Crucible.
Oof, that's bright. Genghis! I'd very much like to get into FDR's computer. Does this look like a prison to anyone else? Why do we fail? I believe the mission is pure, but time is harsh and cruel. The machines break down. Clearly there's no other reason none of us have succeeded and been sent out into the settled systems. I think you were probably never meant to be sent out. I feel I'm close to a revelation, something that will shake the earth, but I am not there yet. Why am I not the only one? We remember things in our core, all of us. Even the great skeptic Roosevelt I've caught on 2 occasions saying something that surprised himself. I got carried away, he said the first time, and I must have overheard it the second. Is it so strange that truth speaks to us through our body of past times? People have believed this since our earliest times. Some of us still believe. Damn the renegades. Violet left. Violet is another... Was Violet in Fallout 3? She joined the renegades. She must have been a traitor all along. Genghis is sly. His feints have counterfeints, but you are not the only one who knows how to handle a blade, Mongol. The renegade's belief is a sickness that must be cured. My home. I dreamt of the Kush again last night. Scrub, trees, the soil. There is something to the sky there that haunts me. There is something to the sky there that haunts me. In our ancestral home, the earth is gone. Loss and grief sometimes overwhelms me. My kingdom is gone. My people aren't a people anymore. One day I will build something new, born of the past, a new Kush. Something to inspire wonder for the ages. But I must pass the test. I know one day I will be worthy. Our numbers grow. The long, hard strategy works. Another has joined our flock. No matter the many lies Genghis spreads or doubts Roosevelt fosters, the truth of the mission cannot be denied. Given time, the believers will triumph by numbers alone. Roosevelt said he remembers a time when there were but 3 of us. Now we are legion. No one can stand against us. I can see why there was a war. Genghis is outside the walls. I want to see if I can get Roosevelt's.
The world is a prism of your perception.
What?
If you distrust everyone, they will inevitably prove
Change
they are
is coming. I
untrustworthy.
can feel it.
Yeah. Whatever you said. He's got a nicer shower than I have. Where's his terminal? This also feels like the perfect place to have had a magazine. On one of these tables. I haven't seen it, but I've been kind of running past them. Right, let's go see old Genghis. There's a higher gravity than I'm used to. He is outside. So he is allowed to leave. So that robot was just shit-talking me.
Stranger! Weapons out!
Hey, be careful not to point that baby. Again, we are triumphant.
The octopus. Genghis, get up.
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you.
He seems politer than I would have expected Genghis. I can't believe it. You're really Genghis Khan?
Then don't believe it. It is true his blood runs through my veins. But I am not he. Crucible tries to imprint the clones with fake memories. Genghis predated the Mongols having written records. For being so great a figure, we know practically nothing about him. When was he born? How he died? Where he was buried? A single speech he gave? Nothing. It must have driven the robots mad, trying to figure out what to do with me.
So why Genghis? You're much more civil than I was expecting.
Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison.
I like his robe.
I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls.
Oh, I like that. Why are you really out here?
I would provide fresh meat for my society, so we don't get fat off the robots. Franklin and I see eye to eye on very little, but even he appreciates this. And I always hope to see some means of escape. Perhaps our luck has finally changed.
You handled yourself well out there.
The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me.
You should have a bow.
Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours.
I met the Queen.
But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone.
So you really feel no connection to Genghis at all?
None at all. It is as if I were a student of his life and times from an early age. I know so much about him, but that doesn't mean I am him.
Genghis makes sense.
I am me, and I am content with this.
I think the science would back your view.
Would it? You would know better than I. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day we will be free.
So the Crucible is a prison.
A prison of the mind and the body. Crucible holds out a throne and says, "Obey, and it is yours." But thrones are meant to be taken, not handed to you by a machine. But it is a tantalizing lie that keeps the others in line.
What would you do if you escaped?
I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a man who does not shrink from violence can't make a place for himself, though.
I'm amazed that he didn't try and attack me when we left the ship and take over it. Amelia can apparently fly. That would have been a better way to start this. Have Genghis and a couple of his followers attack the ship, so we've got to defend it. We kill them. We speak to people. Then we speak to Amelia, and then Genghis reappears in the morning after you stay at Wyatt's Inn. It's like, wait, hold on. And that's when you realise they're clones. They don't tell you that they're clones because they don't know. Instead of just saying we're clones right off the bat. That would have been a more interesting way. This is cool. I like this. But I think that would have been a more interesting way of doing this, actually. Then you should leave.
Were it that easy, I have died 12 deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it.
Crucible really kills you?
Oh yes. You can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead.
I'd like to see that.
I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this. But too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments.
What Crucible is doing is wrong.
I sense fire in you. Good. You will need it. You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
Do you need something, dearest?
I don't know. Do I need to talk to you right now? Do you want to talk about this?
I was just thinking about you.
I could tell. Maybe we don't.
I'm sorry to see you go.
What's the mission? Don't crash. Please don't crash. Not in front of Genghis. That would be very embarrassing. Operation Starseed. Go back to Franklin. But we do have 150 copper to Tobias. I don't have 150 copper. I can probably get 150 copper fairly easily. But I want to know what Tobias says. Can we go and speak to Tobias? Is there copper on this land? On this land. From what Genghis has said, I would think if they can go a couple of miles from this base and then they just die, there's some sort of chip in the clones' heads so that they don't get too far away. And there'll be a robot retrieval squad sent to get them. If I do that... There is copper on this planet, right, so I just need to go mine copper. It's probably easy enough. Right. It might be that we're going off hunting. I don't quite know what to do next. I guess we go and see Franklin. And see what Franklin actually wants, because he hasn't told us what he wants yet. He's just said that we're clones and go speak to everyone else. Either way, everything is pointing towards us going into the facility and doing something, but this is going to be another one of those Fallout-style multiple side quest things where there's so many different options and your changes actually impact what happens in this tiny part of the world. Which is one of the things I think Bethesda always does very well. Are you Tobias?
No query on resident detected. Valid exception acknowledged.
So he won't tell us anything else. I wonder what happens when we give him his copper. Do we give him his copper, then he repairs the machine and it takes it out of our hands? That's all I'm thinking. And how much copper have I got on this ship? I don't think I have a lot of copper. I certainly don't have 150. I think I've got like 30. I've got 17, so it's even less. Oh boy, what are we going to do next?